How to make the most out of university. Like the video in advance without hearing what I have to say. Particularly when in the past I've said that I don't think you should go to university. Well, yeah, a lot of caveats at that. But that was the overall view and I stand by it. But if you're there, sucked in, welcome to the system, statistic. But what I will say is the best way to make the most out of university is to understand what it is. First off, 95% of what you learn in your degree you will never use. It is theoretical, it is academic. Do you get that little inside joke? Yeah, you do, tertiary education students. There is no inside joke there. It's just academic relies on being in universities. Right, so now that that's been covered, the most important part of the video, you should be thinking about it in this context. It's not what you learn there, it's how you learn. Which, first off, in the previous video I was saying, make sure you get a library card and you squeeze every penny out of it. That is a treasure trove of information. And if you start educating yourself in subjects that you are interested in outside of your degree, you will be at a marked advantage from the rest of society because most people never do that. They have every book on earth on every subject imaginable. It's the Page Master, dude. I love these videos. It does just remind me of that. I was always thinking, why wasn't there a sequel? And then I realised later, thanks to Wikipedia, that it bombed. But, you know, there it is right there. I'm just that old guy going, horror, adventure, what tickles your fancy? But there is every subject that you are remotely interested in. I want you to write down what you are interested in so that you have a goal walking into there and then you just start reading books in that area. Because it will help you in the future. That is the stuff that you actually will use because you are interested in it. Not only will you absorb the information better, you will retain it, and furthermore, you will actually use it because you will just subconsciously start moving in that direction. That's the first part. The second part is, when you're at university, look, if you are in arts, if you're in commerce, I really don't think that these degrees actually help you get a job anymore. It's just overinflated. Everybody gets degrees now. There's probably other reasons, but I'm having a Joe Biden moment. You know what I'm talking about, the thing. So, what you should be focusing on when you're at university is building a team. That is the key marked advantage, because then when I thought about it and posted it, I went, good, fuck you for my head. And then after I stopped being 2 years old, I started thinking about what else I got from university. And the main thing that I did get was that I was around a bunch of like-minded people, and as a result of that, we kind of built a little team, and that was the origins of Friendly Geordies. So I think I could have done that without going to university. I think that it's definitely possible in the digital age to do that, and Friendly Geordies has expanded since there. But I think that what most people think when they have this idea of stardom or success, let's make it to everybody's views, because some people are sitting there being like, I want to discover a type of Amazon toad. So, to those people, I would say that, first off, everybody always has just this like pin-up boy of success that they see, and they think that that is the only thing that got them to them where they were. Now, I'm not taking it away from that person. They definitely had a vision. Usually they are the leader of that enterprise. They're the one that put the most effort into it. They're the one that founded it. But the thing is, damn it, who was it? Henry Ford. I love all these old-timey quotes. You just remember this with that really shitty black and white footage going, now listen to it in this voice. I would rather the efforts of 100 men giving me 1% than 100% of my own effort. So what he's saying is, teams help exponentially. When it comes to the creative industries, there's always just this idea that, oh, that actor got there by himself, or that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, a lot of the time they fuck their way to the top, but the other thing that they did, usually, was that they started at the bottom, they had a group of other people, they started making movies themselves, got themselves into that position. They started with a team that was at their level, and that team, because they were hungry and ambitious and they could all be working on different tasks, they started rising up. That is the advantage of going to university. That is the big advantage. And you can do that outside of university, definitely you can. And you can take all of the knowledge from university without going there, and I think that you probably should do that still. But when it comes to team building, if you break it down, there usually is 3 types of people in those teams that build that enterprise. It's kind of just a universal roadmap for you to understand where you fit into it. Are you an artist, an entrepreneur, or are you a team builder? And that's pretty much what it is, right? Like the CEO is that. I don't know, the CFO. Well, look, the point is that, organizations kind of build off that, and then they have, more specialized tasks as well. But, so for instance, when it came to the Friendly Geordies enterprise, right, I was an artist, but I had no entrepreneurial instincts. The only reason that I to this day would have not set up a business. There would be no legal entity of Friendly Geordies to this day if I didn't meet a certain person. And I'm not giving them any credit because I don't like them now. But they serve their purpose. And then the other one is that, and then team builders is just people that are really empathetic, and then they get people along and they gel people together. And this is the other thing that's very unfortunate about that. I think usually the role of that person in movies, for instance, would be like a producer or something. And a producer, everybody always says, you don't do anything. And they're kind of right. But what they have is that they have the ability to get people to work together. They're able to get people together that should be getting together. And usually artists and entrepreneurs usually have very big egos, and they are not focused on that process of building a team. Getting people to work onto a common goal, gelling those people together. So all of these people, so for instance, I'm terrible at team building. If you ever meet me for 5 seconds, I really have that standoffish attitude, I think, of, time is money, gotta go back to my den. I have that. But the team builder obviously can't create the aesthetics that people want to watch. They can't draw in a crowd that an artist can, and an artist can't market it like an entrepreneur can. So there's all these different things that are working, this kind of symbiotic relationship. And you will see it when it comes to Australia, say for instance with like Working Dog Productions, or the team that was behind Chris Lilly, I can't remember what it was, Princess Peaches or something like that. All of these organizations, they sort of rose up together. Because think about it. If you have 5 people, and even if 3 people aren't even really pulling their weight, which is usually what happens in teams, you always have this, I'm doing so much more than she's doing, she gets as much as I do. But the thing is, in the long run, all of you will be making more money. All of you will be more successful if you are just able to keep that team together. I also think it's the fact that bands usually rise up a lot quicker than comedians do. Usually a comedian, and there's exceptions to both of these rules, but usually bands start getting big, or can start getting big, when they're 18, 19. Usually when it comes to comedians, it's 25. Now, there's other factors into that, and the fact that, say, comedians need to have some kind of like a global perspective, I guess. They have to be able to have more observations and make more distinctions in life for their craft to work. But when it comes to musicians, they have 5 people working in it. In a cohesive band. That's why there's a lot of those loser bands that turn around. You're out of the band, man. Yeah, well, we only made 1 song in 10 years. Yeah, well, it was bitchin' song and you didn't do anything to it, man. Take your drums and get out of here before I stick the sticks up your ass. All that happens, but there is a team of 5 people that are making the posters, that are making Instagram posts, and so they instantly already have a bigger following than one person, don't they? Because they can all post on their Insta and be like, you better come to my show on Friday. It starts building up. In the old model, before there was, the internet, where you could actually just do all of this stuff by yourself, I guess, if you really want to do. But again, it's just a lot easier when you have a team. Believe me, I know. But in the old model, people like Hamish and Andy, people like Merrick and Rosso, they were the ones that started rising up. Why? Because they built a team. So that's my big takeaway from it. If you are in university, you should be thinking about that. First of all, you should be having a vision. You should be having a vision of where you want to go. Don't just have this idea that, I'm going to get a degree and then I'm going to get a job. No, you will not. The innocence of youth. That's not happening, Sunshine. Maybe if you have a very specialized degree, yes, maybe. The law, there's always going to be the need for that. But when it comes to those really general degrees, no, that is not happening. But what is happening, if you are in that context, is first you should be reading, getting very specialized knowledge, basically becoming even special with a special degree, becoming a special person by expanding your mind and reading a lot. But the second point that you should be focusing on is building a team, finding people that are interested in what you're interested in and building it together. It sort of just naturally happen for Friendly Geordies. I think that's just what happens. Just naturally passionate, ambitious people start intermingling together. So for instance, I was in a politics degree. You know who I started gelling with a lot? Media students. I wish that I went into media, but I now understand why I didn't, because it was all just part of God's plan and I'm just a simple leaf in the wind. And it's actually quite sad how much I believe in that kind of stuff. God, is that you? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? But, yes. most of them started just hanging around the media students. A lot of law kids wanted to... See, this is something that I think about law kids, right? They're not talented, but they really want to be special people. Anyway, I'm going to shut up about that because probably a bunch of law students go, I'm special. But anyway, no, I'm sure you're special in your own way. But yeah, okay, so I didn't gel with the international politics students at all. Why? Because they wanted to get jobs at DFAT. I didn't have no interest in that whatsoever. I wanted to be on the camera, ta-ta! So I started hanging out with media kids. And those media kids did not want to be on camera, but they wanted to film. And they also came up with all of these good ideas because they kind of understand what works and what doesn't on the internet. I've got no idea about that. I still to this day don't. I release videos constantly that are just very esoteric insider jokes and it's funny, right? And then, thank God that I have that team around me that just goes, okay, maybe we'll just link it to this trend that's happening now. And there's other people that are thinking about it. It's just more minds collectively are pushing up together, especially because those minds, no one on the Friendly Geordies team is an idiot. Most of the people on it are smarter than I am, easily. It's a couple of dumb shits, but in general, and they have better ideas than I do, and everybody's just kind of collaborating on this one project. That is how it's kind of moved ahead. And the more people that we're able to hire, thanks to your donations, thank you very much, the more people we're able to hire, the better it is for everybody because we can just kind of create another media voice that is not Murdoch. So, that is what you should be focusing on when you are at university. Finding teammates. You will always go further in a team. That's the real purpose of university. That's the major difference between Chomsky and Jordan Peterson. You know what? I agree with both of them on the subject when they say it in different aspects. So Jordan Peterson is always saying that degrees are overinflated and they don't get you a job in the real world and they've goddamn made them basically useless. The quality of it has declined. And Chomsky will always just be saying, yeah, that's somewhat true, but there's also the fact that this is where a bunch of people that are like-minded come together and discuss. And they're just basically focusing on different things. But I think that both of them are correct. It's just, as always, your standard and compulsory 1 minute of incoherent rambling and not staring at the camera. Press the like button. Yeah, so really this is just a short message to say that if you are in university and one of those people who goes, is it even worth being here? Look, just stick it out. Stick it out, but just don't pay attention to the degree if you think the degree is worthless. Just P's equal degrees. That should be your motto for that. But just use the library, find people that are interested in something that you are interested in so you can all work and collaborate on a project. And at the end of the day, that's what you should be using university for. Not to find a job, but to become entrepreneurs. I'll be talking about that more in another video. But for now, that's all the information that you get. Press the like button, give me more questions, that's all. I've only got 2 things that I want from this. Oh no, actually, you know what, find me another subscriber. Go out there, just hold up your window, and then just yell out like Scrooge did. Hey, do you know what day it is? It's Christmas Day, sir. No, it's the day you subscribe to Jordan Shanks. Come on.